Hey, so now we're going to do least to greatest with scientific notation. So this is one of the most elementary skills that we need to be able to accomplish with scientific notation. This skill is essentially taking these numbers that are already written in scientific notation and conceptualizing them in order from least to greatest. When you are writing this from least to greatest, I want you to understand that you can rewrite these numbers as in whatever capacity you want. However, I do also expect you to keep them written as they are here when you actually say your final answer. So a few things, when we're talking about least to greatest, we need to pay attention to not only in scientific notation, the number that comes at the beginning of all of these. So the 5.2, 3, 4, 2, 4.5, and 4.5. Oh man, there's two same ones. But we also need to actually look at maybe these exponents on the tens more carefully. So we need to look at those more than we need to actually look at the number themselves up in front. So if I were to look at this, 5.2 times 10 to the negative third, 3 times 10 to the 14th, these are vastly different numbers. Saying this is 10 to the negative third means this is a very small number. So that's tiny. Whereas 3 times 10 to the 14th is a very big number. So this is a large number. Because of that, I don't care that 5.2 is a bigger number than 3. What I care about is actually this magnitude of powers that we're dealing with these tens. That magnitude of power is going to truly play a bigger role in all of this. So if I were to look at all of these, I'm going to look at the order of magnitude of every single one of these tens and find which one has the greatest negative value. And that's the one that's going to be my least value on all of this. So this number here, 2 times 10 to the negative 12th, is my greatest negative number magnitude. So that means that is a super duper 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 tiny number. So I can write that 2 times 10 to the negative 12th here. If I wanted to, I could actually write out 2 times 10 to the negative 12th. 2, and then I essentially have 2, and then I'm taking this decimal point and bringing it over negative 12 place values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a lot of place values. And putting in zeros for every single one of those. When I get to the end of my line, I'm putting a decimal point and even adding another 0 to it. So this number 2 times 10 to the negative 12 is this tiny value with a lot of zeros. That's teeny. I mean, that's beyond microscopic. If we're talking about a bacteria or whatever else, this is super light, super duper tiny. So then from there, I need to look at the next smallest order of magnitude. And it looks like this 5.2 times 10 to the negative 3 and this 4 times 10 to the negative 3 are both tied in that capacity. So while I didn't necessarily need to actually write this number out, I may have to do that for these two to look at that. In all reality, I need to look at this 5.2 versus this 4 and ask myself, if I'm looking at a small value, which one is truly smaller? Is it the 5.2 times 10 to the negative third, or is it the 4 times 10 to the negative third? And remember, I'm not talking about negative numbers in any of this. The only negative value is my exponent, which actually just tells me I have a very, very small number. So 5.2 times 10 to the negative third, 1, 2, 3, gives me this value here. And 4 times 10 to the negative third gets me 1, 2, 3, this value. So which one is smaller? 0.004 or 410 or 4, what is it? Tens, hundreds, thousands, 4 thousandths, or 53 ten thousandths. Which one's smaller? So I would say this one is smaller. So I'd say my next smallest value is 4 times 10 to the negative third. Then I have 5.2 times 10 to the negative third. Then from there, we're going up to the next order of magnitude. We have 14s. Again, we can write these out if we need to, but if I were to think about this Would I rather have $3 versus $4.50? Nah, I'd rather have $4.50. So this is going to be a greater order of magnitude, or these have the same order of magnitude, but the 4.5 is bigger. So I'd say 3 times 10 to the 14th, then 4.5 times 10 to the 14th. And now, let's see, what do I have left? All I have left is this last final 4.5 times 10 to the 30th, which very clearly has a much greater order of magnitude. Therefore, it is the biggest number versus this is the smallest number. Fun, fun. All right, 2 more videos and then you're done. Okay, promise. Bye.